What's going on, everyone? This is City Wrestling Radio, December 12th, 2022. I'm your host, Korey Smith, being joined by my co-host, the dad you wish you had, you really do, my co-host, the big, nice booty daddy of City Wrestling Radio, Mr. Jose Ocegueda.
Causing havoc in your hallways. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Mr. Smith? It's lovely to be here on this warm winter evening. I say warm because my heater's on.
I'm doing great. I wish I had my heater on, but it goes from either off to 100,000,000 degrees.
Yeah, no.
So I take the cold with it, but I'm doing good. It's a great weekend. It's winter, you know. Everyone's buying gifts now. So, guys, if you guys want to just throw some money our way, go for it. I'm sure if there's a tip option on YouTube, go for it. But if you can't, just go ahead and click the like button and subscribe, because that'd be great.
Dropped a subtle hint with my Phil's cup, so we'll be accepting Phil's donations with gift cards.
Go
for it.
Or or donuts. I have been liking donuts lately. They have been my thing. Nonetheless, I'm not here to tell you what to get us for Christmas. We're here to talk about some pro wrestling, because a lot of stuff happened this past week. The legit boss, she's heading to New Japan Pro Wrestling, because we got the latest on Sasha Banks heading to Japan. Ring of Honor relaunches their Honor Club streaming service, and we're going to talk about the impending doom of Ricky Starks. But like I said, before we get into all that, I made a mention to it before, but you guys, it really does help out the show. Like, share, subscribe, click down below, click the bell button, notify, because once you do that, it lets YouTube know, hey, these guys are doing all right. Gets us into that algorithm, gets us going, it's like a cannon. You ever see someone shot out of a cannon like medieval times?
Plenty of times.
A catapult, not a cannon, a catapult.
Okay.
Yeah, catapult us into the stratosphere. Become one of the first to get on this new tier of generational City Wrestling Radio fans. Because, like I said, we still got our number one fans that have been with us since day one. You know what I'm saying? Mr. That guy from the Netherlands. I don't know. We get constant hits from like the Netherlands. I'm just like, it's like 3 or 4. I'm just like, there's random City Wrestling Radio fans out there in the world.
Cool, yeah. Cool buddies. Hey, thanks for watching, you guys.
Anyways, let's get into all of that. Let's get into all of the news this week, because Sasha Banks, like I said, she's heading to New Japan Pro Wrestling in some sorts, because this was first reported by PW Insider earlier this week that the legit boss will be heading to Wrestle Kingdom 17 on January 4th to attend the event. But at the time, it was unclear if Banks would appear in front of the crowd. It was reported later by Dave Meltzer that Sasha Banks has, quote, agreed to terms, multiple dates with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the booking was not, quote unquote, not booked through WWE, but I got some questions about that. So it is now. They said she will be in front of a crowd, and Meltzer did go on to say that on Wrestling Observer Radio, he said, the deal did not go through WWE. So if the appearance isn't blocked legally by WWE, it means that she's a free agent by that date. So this is especially unique because WWE could freeze her contract pretty much at any date at this point for not filling her contractual obligations. As of right now, Sasha and WWE are reported far apart when it comes to the money aspect of her potential re-signing to the company when her contract expires at the end of the year. Jose, what do you think is going on with Sasha Banks? Is WWE just being super chill and lax about it? Like, whatever, dude? Or do they have something they might be able to gain out of this?
Yeah, in a way, they're being laxed. In another way, it's a smart business move, I would think. It's more of a Triple H's good cop versus Vince's bad cop situation, right? Where he's trying to maintain a good relationship with Sasha, so when it's time to negotiate again, come to the table, he doesn't have to put up as much money maybe, and can say, do your dates in Japan, everything's cool, come back when you want, we'll restart negotiations later.
Yeah, like, whatever, dude. Like, it is kind of like that mentality of, if it is meant to be like let somebody free, and if it's meant to be, they'll come back to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, but at the same time, like there's speculation that okay, so what is it? Is it the 11th, January 11th at the Kia Center, AEW Dynamite? It is Saraya and a mystery partner versus Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, and everybody is speculating it's going to be Sasha Banks. But like, and if it's not, it's going to be this huge letdown. Like, who else can it be at this point? Like, if it's not Sasha Banks, everyone's going to be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
So
Charlotte. Oh my God.
I mean, they're not showing. Neither of them are showing up over there.
No.
You know what I mean? In my opinion, I think this is something going on where WWE is allowing. Like, I think she has a contract, or if they have some sort of tentative agreement. Nothing. They're keeping it on hush. You know, they're saying, "Oh, let her go to Japan," because the wrestling industry has been all about being hushed with contracts, and
Yeah.
I think lately, you know, when people want to be quiet about something, they can.
Well, you know, by reports, we know that WWE is not hitting the money that Sasha's currently asking. She could be subsidizing that salary in Japan.
Well, she's you know, she's in that new movie or some movie coming out. I don't know.
She probably has back points on that.
Yeah, Triple A, go film a movie. It's fine. If you want to go to Japan, that's cool too. Pick me up some. Hey, Steph, you want anything from Ribera? You want Sasha? Can you pick us up something on the way back, please? Thank you. No, to me, I just think it's more of like the Shinsuke Nakamura going to face the Great Muta.
Yeah.
If they were going to allow Daniel Bryan in the past to go to New Japan when they were trying to keep him in the company, so why wouldn't somebody like Sasha Banks, who is very high up on Triple H's respect list, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
By, you know, kind of handling her own career and coming up through his developmental system. Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of his wrestling children. Mm-hmm. I think he would allow her to do this under a WWE contract.
Listen,
and I think
I'll do you a solid. Go to Japan.
And I don't think we're going to see
cobwebs.
Yeah, and who is it? Who could it be against? Everyone's speculating she comes down after Kyrie defends the title, the IWGP Women's title, and then she challenges her for that. You know, who's to say Sasha doesn't win the title? Have her show up on SmackDown with the IWGP.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
That's going to happen. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, what if it's in the deal? What if it's like, you know what? And then we'll have a match for the IWGP title on SmackDown. Kyrie will come over here.
I see how this could be a hindsight 2020 and how they dropped the ball with Carl Anderson.
Yeah.
And they're having, you know, rethoughts of how that should have gone down as opposed to how it went down.
Because honestly, it would be cool if she goes over there, beats Kyrie, wins the IWGP Women's title, then comes back over here, goes, I'm the champion, I'm never going back to Japan. All of a sudden, out comes Kyrie. Something, you know, there's some sort of other feud Sasha's got going on. Let's just say, I don't know, somebody, you know, let's just say Io Shirai. She has a feud with Io Sky, and, you know, Io Sky cost her the IWGP title against Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? So then you can continue a feud with Sasha and somebody there. Kyrie can go back to wrestling in Stardom and New Japan.
I'm telling you, you should be making some money off of this.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I could apply to work at WWE, but then I would have to wear like a suit and tie and shave every day. And
yeah.
I think
wears a suit. I bet you he feels like,
dude. I every time I've been to a WWE, I've traveled for a WWE live show. I've stayed at hotels close by the stadiums. I've stayed at hotels with the writing crew. I'm pretty sure, and the production crew, and they just all don't look that happy.
Miserable.
Like maybe it was
travel everywhere.
That's true. Maybe that's what it is. They're like, dude, I want to go home.
I just want to write from home. My typewriter's not a typewriter. My laptop's right here. I could just do that. Let's just do a Zoom, you guys.
Can we go back to the pandemic stuff? No? All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about one person who is apparently going to be out for the next 6 weeks. Oakland's own resident Blackheart, Miss Shotzi Blackheart herself. She posted a picture on Instagram earlier this week of a fractured hand with the captioned 6 weeks.
We need to inspect that picture to see if there's any labeling.
Well, you know what? We should have a doctor look at it because I feel like they could put a picture up of any hand, and we'd be like, they just put a circle around a certain point, and we'd be like, oh yeah, it's definitely fractured right there. That's oh yeah, definitely. But this definitely, I mean, this did come after a digital media exclusive that we saw on SmackDown that later played on the YouTube. Where Shotzi was found screaming next to a car after Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler walked away. I mean, this is obviously, I think, a worked injury, but this takes her out for 6 weeks. Well, what do you think's going on here, Jose? Do you think she's actually going to be out for 6 weeks? Do you think she's going to come back and continue her feud with Shayna Baszler? What's going on?
Yeah, my heart tells me that this is a legit injury. I would hate it for be a write-off. She was just in the middle of a push. She went up against, I don't want to bring up the match again, but she was just offered a chance at the world title. To see her get depushed in this way is kind of disappointing. So I'm just going to keep an optimistic view and say, optimistic, I hope she's hurt. Horrible thing to say, I know. But, God. I really hope that this is not, a depush.
I don't think it's a deep push in any way, but I mean, I do think something's going on here. Maybe it's not a hand, maybe it's some other sort of injury that she sustained while, you were saying earlier, could be on a house show. It could be a shoulder injury, could be a neck. You never know what it could be.
She tripped in the shower. Oh, crap.
You never know, I've tripped in the shower. Everyone trips in the shower. One time, I turned in the shower and I cut my elbow open.
Yikes.
Well, there was like a broken porcelain thing, and I had to get stitches. I had to get stitches because of that.
Bathrooms is super dangerous.
I was like, God, I was just taking a shower. Now I got to go get stitches. Yeah. I guess I can't come into work anymore.
At least you're clean.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like I said, whatever's going on with Shotzi, the best of luck and recovery to her. Hopefully she gets back in the ring. I was kind of bummed this weekend. I was traveling up to Fort Bragg, and I did stop at a Walmart, and I found a Shotzi figure. I found a Jimmy Uso. There was all these. I was like, oh, I should grab them, but they were just all like, dude, you can't buy anything 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's because they jack up. They don't jack up the prices, but everything goes back to the regular price. Mm-hmm. Like nothing is on sale. Like a couple weeks ago for Black Friday, they had everything was on sale. Then the week after, AEW figures were $11 for some weird unadvertised reason at most Targets. And then all of a sudden, now all the figures are like $22.99 everywhere.
Yeah,
and I'm not paying $22.99.
Not during the season.
No, I mean, I'd rather just get them online. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get them online and get them shipped to me. Anyways,
convenience fee.
Because I pay that convenience fee. I pay that extra fee so I can be entertained. And there was a lot of entertaining this past weekend, Jose. Because this past weekend, we saw 2 shows on Saturday. There was Ring of Honor Final Battle and NXT, was it Deadline? NXT Deadline. And we saw, 10 new champions crowned on Saturday.
Jesus. Roxanne
Perez won the Iron Survivor Challenge. The New Day defeated Pretty Deadly to become the NXT Tag Team Champions. Grayson Waller won the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. And Braun Breaker retained against Apollo Crews. This also came after Ring of Honor Final Battle took place at 1 p.m. Pacific on Saturday, which saw, 15 matches. I'm not going to go through them all, but Claudio Castagnoli became the new Ring of Honor champion, so he's not joining the Jericho Appreciation Society. Wheeler Yuta became the first 2-time Ring of Honor Pure champion, and the Briscoes won the tag team titles.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
After the show, though, it was announced that Ring of Honor will relaunch their Honor Club streaming service. I don't know if it's a relaunch because I think it's been active this entire time, but it's more of a re-push of the service. Although pay-per-views won't be available on the platform for 90 days, it is available now for $9.99 a month on WatchRingOfHonor.com. More information is expected to come after Wrestle Kingdom, hinting that New Japan Pro Wrestling is strongly involved. I wonder if one Sasha Banks is involved too.
Oh.
That's just my question off the top of my head. Nobody can answer that. Just saying. Jose, will you be buying Honor Club?
I'm assuming, I'm guessing, I'm gonna predict that, like most wrestling fans, we will not be participating in the $9.99 subscription service. It's a little steep, especially when you have your Netflix, Disney Plus, yada 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 to infinity. Right? Everybody has an app now. I was hoping for a $4.99 price tag. I'll just probably get all the updates during, your AEW Dynamites and Rampages and so on. I'm sure they'll keep us up to date with their product and promote the hell out of it, because how else are you going to sell these subscriptions, right?
And one thing to me, it just, the pay-per-views won't be available right away.
They won't be live, yeah.
And I get it. They're not WWE, so they can't just give the pay-per-views for free.
Eating the cost, so to speak. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I get it. But I believe the old Honor Club service, they gave a discount on pay-per-views,
right,
which I think that's fair. I think that if they combined Honor Club with Ring of Honor and AEW and then offered some sort of discount on pay-per-views, I'd definitely buy it. Can just put everything together. Put Dynamite, Rampage, all the replays there, Evolution, Dark, and then the Ring of Honor shows as well. Put all the backlog of AEW there. Mm-hmm. Why not pay $9.90? I would, in fact, I would go a fact to say I would pay $14.99 a month for if AEW was included,
wow.
And then it gave you a discount.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
If it gave you a discount on upcoming pay-per-views, because
throw in live events. The discount on a live event will go far. If I don't have to pay those convenience fees for the live events, that'd be awesome.
That's true. We did get tickets for AEW Revolution.
See you there.
And there was like $20 per ticket convenience fee.
Ouch! I'm just doing this one time for those tickets. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I'm going to like all three shows. I'm just like, how much did I just pay in convenience fees, man? Yeah. It's crazy. And to me though, it's this Honor Club thing. Like you said, yeah, there's a lot to take in. I think this whole Ring of Honor thing, I don't know where Tony's kind of going with it, because is he just trying to be a wrestling god? Like everything like has to work through him, because obviously he's not. And I think I don't want to say he's getting too big for his britches by any means.
Well, I mean, he has the money to support these ventures, but also that he can piggyback off his own product in Rampage and throw some of those shows, pre-Rampage or post.
Yeah. Well, there will be a weekly Ring of Honor show, or not weekly. There will be some sort of Ring of Honor television show on the Honor Club. Mm-hmm. So you're just pretty much paying for 90-day-old pay-per-views, backlog, and a weekly show. Mm-hmm. So why? It is my question. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But maybe he's a fan of nostalgia.
Could be. One thing I think you will for sure be tuning into in the upcoming future. One thing you don't have to pay for, Jose.
Okay.
Well, as long as you're paying for cable or YouTube TV or whatever.
I'm paying for cable. I'm one of the last relics. Yes.
Will be a brand new reality content brought to you by the good people at the E Network. E Network, the channel you forgot existed until last night when you were flipping through the channel and saw the Kardashians on. E. That's a E for entertainment. Because apparently, they're, according to Dave Meltzer and this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, E and WWE, whoa, think of the synergy there, Jose. They're in talks to developing new reality content starring WWE couples. Apparently, Meltzer stated that they are looking for legitimate wrestling couples, so the upcoming signings could be part of this project. Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona were names both expressed in this project. Jose, what couple would get you to watch this show?
Ms. Maurice. No, I'm kidding. Nikki
Jose,
Bella
there's already a show about Miz and Maurice.
Nikki Bella and that guy, that dancer dude that she's marrying. It's
I want to know what happened with her and Cena, how he stacks up to Cena. I want to see him meet Cena. Yeah, absolutely.
There's already a show about that, by the way. This is going to be one of those shows that I watch 1 or 2 episodes of, and then I completely forget the third week that it's on, and I'm just going to lose track of it. I'm not interested. Are Miz and Maurice, Mr. and Ms., is that what it's called?
Miz and Mrs.
Miz and, yeah. Are they really putting in that much ratings?
Oh, I don't.
Are they
believe
making a ton of money?
No,
Are the total divas?
But at the same time, it's like, what does USA Network have now? They don't have Chris Lee in jail yet. That content's being developed right now.
No, that's good. That's great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, why is it such a mess in here? Like, let's spruce it up. Let me try to talk to my wife, honey.
Yeah.
She's like down the hall, got a team of like women working for her. She's like selling like cigars and bootleg chips. I feel like chips would be a good trade in jails. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't find anything interesting in this show. We already have.
Well, I mean, you could see get Montez Ford and Bianca Belair.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, baby, I'm gonna help you train for that weightlifting contest you got going on this week. Is that really?
Yeah, she's like legit, like getting into the World Bodybuilding Federation again. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the thing that's called. Is it called that still?
I don't know what it's called exactly, but yeah, pretty much you got it.
Well,
and these shows are going to be like maybe 6 to 8 months from live TV, right? So they're going to be all out of Oh, I remember when that was happening. Who cares?
Well, wasn't there like? I felt like there was one that kind of like built up to a match somewhere, and then it like actually built up to the match. Like they had it pretty close to the production.
Yeah, I want to say you're right, but Mandela effect. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Mm. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about Ricky Starks and his impending doom. I might have to throw a curveball after this one, but
okay.
This week, Ricky Starks let the world know pretty much who he is. Everyone knew who he was, but I mean, he really kind of cemented his own in the cement by letting loose on MJF after winning the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, earning him a shot at the Dynamite Diamond ring on top of the AEW title shot he's already earned. Mm-hmm. The promo, apparently Starks was going off script, talking to comicbook.com earlier this week, saying, I remember Max cutting that promo and saying these comments, and in that moment I was like, I'll just wing it. I know where I want to go, and where I want to get, and I'll just fill in the blanks. Starks continued, so what you saw out there was me winging it. That's how I operate. Yes, I can come up with some lines and think about it, but for the most part, whatever I feel, I just say, and it comes off in that moment. So good for him. This has now led up to where a match this next week at Winter is coming, where Ricky Starks is now challenging MJF for both the AEW title and the Dynamite Diamond ring in one match. Jose, correct me if I'm wrong. Ricky Starks is getting fucked here, isn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's the first title defense.
It's not even title. What? Like, how does this even make sense for Ricky Starks? How does this make sense for just the overall building? Okay. Say if somebody else won. Mm-hmm. Ethan Page. Wouldn't there have been a match right before or right after for the Dynamite Diamond ring? Mm-hmm. I mean, if not, to me it makes Ricky look stupid if he's really like, I want to take it all.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Shot,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's the first title defense. There's no way he's losing this. I don't care what promos you do, what build-up you make. It could have been 6 months build-up. This is the first title defense. He's not losing that. And, you might as well just throw in the ring just to tell a little bit of a story. I will say that this is a huge testament to MJF, who is now forcing the hand of his competitors and making them better. Because Ricky Starks has been the best on the mic that I've ever seen.
I mean, he's always been like decent.
Yeah, he's always been decent, but this is one of his better promos, even though it wasn't, jaw dropping.
It was great. He was kind of like, he was talking a little fast. I was like, okay, take a breath.
Yeah, and it wasn't groundbreaking, right? He was talking about how his clothes were not as spiffy as his.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's elevating. MJF is elevating his competition, so to speak, right?
Yeah, it would have been perfect if they would have booked it to where, let's just say, and some people were even saying, like, what if he took the match right there? Like, he speared MJF right there and said, I want my match for the Dynamite ring right now.
Dope.
And then go into the match. You could even went into the AEW title match with the ring, have not even him try to use it, but have MJF use it on Ricky and then just kiss it and then just like throw it at his wayside when he walks away.
Once again, you should be making money off of these things, man.
I'm just saying. Hey, Tony Khan, I know you banned me from using your pictures on the AEW media, but it's okay. I'm a great writer. I can come up with this stuff. I've been thinking about it for 35 plus years now.
Mm-hmm.
We'd make a great team. I just don't do late nights.
Yeah,
I do early mornings, not late nights. I don't.
Hey, I got you guys covered during the late nights, right?
So, I mean, to me, it would be believable at least if they had the match for the ring first and be like, okay, he might win this one, because especially after he speared him and his shoes, MJF's shoes flew off.
Mm-hmm. Great.
That was pretty crazy. All right, since we've pretty much went through the whole rundown of the show, I'm going to throw us a curveball here today, Jose.
Yeah, what's going on?
This
I'm looking
last
at my notes
week,
and I don't have anything.
I don't have anything, so I thought this was going to happen this week. Yesterday, or let's not say yesterday. Ooh, pulling the curtain back.
Yeah.
This last weekend was the I believe 72, 82, 92, 202, 212, 222, 50-year anniversary of the debut of one Richard Morgan Fleer in pro wrestling. Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
A very controversial figure.
Polarizing.
Very polarizing. Yeah. I mean, 50 years now. I mean, he pretty much made it. I would say he made 50 years, I mean, wrestling, a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. What, like, his overall career, and it's hard to just wrap it up in a nice little package to deliver to the masses, Jose. But what would you say, like, what are your memories of Ric Flair growing up? And not to sit here and paint him in this. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to paint him in this glorifying picture. We're going to talk about the downfalls too.
Yeah.
What were some of your memories of Ric Flair?
The guy who taught me about real wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Before Ric Flair, it was a very comical show. It was all kinds of comical characters. It was stretched beyond reality. Ric Flair actually brought a sense of realism to my wrestling, vision or view, right? No. As you grow older, you start to learn that you shouldn't always meet your heroes or get to know your heroes, because the more we learned about Ric Flair, the less we thought of him, right?
Yeah.
But God bless the man's soul.
Yeah.
He's survived airplane crashes, near death, medical happenstance. Legend. I mean, what can you
ever hear the story why everyone wanted to fly with Ric Flair?
Why?
Because the chances of somebody going down into airplane accidents,
right,
are extremely low.
Lightning doesn't hit twice, right?
Exactly. So fly with Ric Flair, and I guess. Yeah. But no, absolutely. Like, when I was younger, I grew up, my dad was a huge Ric Flair fan. He was a big Four Horsemen fan. I never really got into him as a kid, I'll be quite honest. I mean, I was like, oh, those are but I always kind of was like, oh, he's just like the kind of like uncle type,
Yeah.
He was always old, you know what I mean? Like, but he always had that old look. Yeah. But he always had that old look even when he was like 20, The more I got older, the more I did appreciate his work. At the same time, like you said, the more we learned about him being such a polarizing character. I mean, great wrestler. I mean, I don't know. He's one of those people. Did you see there's this video of him that just came out recently? I guess this girl was like, I don't know who this is, but like my friend like went and like asked me to go take a picture, and she goes up to Ric
told
Flair.
him, "Oh God."
She's like, hey, I don't know who you are, but my friend asked me to take a picture. Can I take a picture? And he's like, no, you cannot. Please leave me alone. Okay, sorry. Goodbye. I was like, oh. It's kind of a dick, too. But I guess if someone came up and said that to me, I'd be like,
someone told me that I hear you're famous. Which I'm not. Not by the stretch of imagination. But if
I would let
in
someone
his
take a
place-
picture. I'd be like, yeah, dude. But if
Okay,
I'm
but
not
we're talking
famous.
about 50 years of pictures.
Yeah.
He's taken 50 years worth of pictures.
That's
I'm
true.
sure that at this point he could give a flying F. Especially if someone came up to him like, I don't know who you are, but can I take a picture? No, hell no. I'm trying to hang out and have a beer. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's funny, too, because I saw also, too, somebody caught MJF at the Las Vegas airport. And it's funny because like MJF's like walking by, and it's like you could tell the guy took the picture quick. The MJF's like middle finger's all blurred.
Yeah.
It's great. Ric Flair, he's one of those guys. Yeah, of course, he's one of the greats of pro wrestling. Should we sit here and, like immortalize the guy? That's another question. It's how do you look at him now, Jose?
Now, he's a relic of a forgotten time. I still respect him for the work that he's done. He's had like 4 careers, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
His 80s career as a particular person. He's definitely evolved into different people throughout his times. I'm not going to condemn the guy. He's a legend in the game. What can you do?
Yeah.
He's also a victim of his era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's still out doing the things he was doing when he was 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60. How old is he now? 70?
70, yeah.
No, he's like 69, right? I think.
Well, when did he start? 19? Then 69?
50 years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Ric Flair, he's one of those people that I've never met in person. People love the guy. It's one of those things. You either love him or hate him. And I just...
Well, I don't hate him, but I don't love him either, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, even when I saw him live, like, I can respect his work, say, oh, he's a 16-time champion. But at the same time, it's like, it's all about looks. He had a good look going for years.
Yeah, he did. Okay, well, do me a favor. You don't some homework maybe if you want to, if you have some free time. Check out his matches with Ricky Steamboat, and then come back and watch his match with Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, that way you'll understand the polarity of this guy's life.
I was gonna say those are two extremely different. And then like he did have some of the greatest feuds with Dusty, with Steamboat, all throughout the game, even later in life. Even having that feud with HBK later in life was one of his great feuds.
One of the greatest talkers, one of the greatest speakers. Even though after 40 years, we kind of grew tired of this Ric Flair. So yeah.
So, well, I think that about wraps it up here for us here today. What do you think? You think so?
Yeah.
Right.
Doing the rehearsal and then doing it for real.
Yeah, doing almost a show and a half.
Yeah.
You guys only saw half of it. Okay, well, we'll be back next week. Got some. We'll be taking. We'll have some shows coming up. Taking a little bit of a break from the standard CWR shows. We'll have something up for next week. Our standard City Wrestling Radio, and then the week after, we'll have some sort of Christmas present for you, and then the years. People usually look back at the year and they're like, "What happened? What? That was fun." Or what? That wasn't fun. Thumbs down, thumbs up. We'll let Batista decide. But
Love it.
We'll be back next week. City Wrestling Radio. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Korey Smith.
I'm Jose Ocegueda.
And we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Peace.